In 1987, a small German company called Ruff managed to do something most automakers wouldn't dare attempt. It built a car that beat Ferrari, Lamborghini, and even Porsche itself at their own game. This wasn't a brand with a billion-euro R&D budget, nor a wind tunnel. No, this was a backstreet operation from Pfaffenhausen that began life fixing buses and ended up producing a vehicle so quick, so utterly berserk, that it made the Ferrari F40 look like it had forgotten to take its protein shake. This was the RUF CTR, but the world would come to know it by a far more evocative name, the Yellowbird. But let's start at the beginning. Ruff Automobile GmbH wasn't always in the business of making supercars themselves. Founded in 1939 by Louis Ruff Sr., the company started as a service garage. Then, in the most German pervert imaginable, it built buses. Now you might be thinking, how on earth do you go from lugging around pensioners in a diesel clanker to building a 911 that can outrun anything? Well, the answer is Aloy Ruff Jr., a 24-year-old with more Porsche posters on his wall than cents in his wallet. When Ruff Sr. died in 1974, Jr. decided he wasn't interested in buses or fixing carburetors for people named Klaus. He wanted to build the ultimate 911. And oh my world, did he? The 1975 Ruff Turbo was the company's first real entry into hot-rodding Porsches. In 1978, they dropped the naturally aspirated SCR, but what came next made everything else in the automotive world soil its upholstery. Here is the recipe. Take a 911 Carrera 3.2, so not the 930 Turbo, because you see that thing was heavier. But the 3.2 was lighter. It was the better canvas for the madness to come. Then take that car and strip it. Strip it like it's about to join the Foreign Legion. The doors, bonnet, and the engine cover were replaced with aluminium panels. The bumpers were now fiberglass. The glass thinner, the seats, 2 race-ready Ricardos, and little else. Even the carpets were on a diet. Somehow, they even kept the aircon and stereo. Though, who'd use a radio when the rear end is screaming Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries in flat 6 form? Speaking of the sound, the standard 3.2-liter flat 6 was bought out to 3.4 liters. Not a massive leap, but this wasn't some backstreet overboard job. This was German engineering at its finest. The pistons were forged, the internals were reinforced. It got the fuel injection system from the 962 race car, because why not? And just for good measure, they strapped on not 1 but 2 turbos. So let's stop and look at the numbers. The standard Carrera 3.2 made 230 horsepower. The CTR, however, made 463 horsepower. And that's just what Ruff claimed. Independent tests pegged some cars closer to 500 horsepower in 1987. That, for perspective, is more than the Ferrari F40, more than the Lamborghini Countach, more than Porsche's own almighty 959. It was a figure so silly, it had to be delivered through a gearbox that didn't even exist. Porsche's 5-speed couldn't handle the torque, and the turbo's 4-speed belonged in a museum. So Ruff, in an act of defiant genius, built their very own 5-speed gearbox from scratch. As you do. So, on paper, this thing should have been fast. But what did that mean in reality? Well, in 1987, Road and Track took the CTR to VW's top secret era lesson test track. That's the place with the freakishly long straight where Bugatti now tests the Veyron and the Chiron. There, 9 cars turned up to fight for top speed dominance. There were Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsche's own 959, and then this yellow thing. The journalists were skeptical. They didn't know what to make of it until it hit 211 miles per hour. That was faster than anything else. The F40 did 201, the 959, 197, Countach, 178. But this thing beat them all. But the story doesn't end there, because the car wasn't just about top speed. Thanks to its lightweight, impeccable gearing, and custom suspension, it could handle 2. Watch the now legendary option auto video from Japan where the Yellowbird drifts and four-wheel slides its way around the Nürburgring Nordschleife like it's being chased by the police and the devil at the same time. This wasn't some dragstrip diva, this was a fully capable track-honed monster. It cornered with violence, it braked with authority, and it delivered its performance in the most unfiltered, hairy-chested, borderline psychotic manner possible. The nickname Yellowbird came funnily enough from Road and Track's own photographers. During that 1987 test, they noticed the bright canary yellow Ruff was the only car impossible to photograph because it went past too fast. So they dubbed it Yellowbird, and the name stuck. And from that moment, it became the car, the holy grail of 911s, the one that out-Porsched Porsche. Ruff, of course, didn't just slap badges on a 911, they were and still are a recognized manufacturer in their own right. The 29 cars they built from scratch without Porsche VINs are now the most desirable. Those are the purebreds, the unicorns, the ones that fetch over $1 million at auction today. And good luck getting one, even if you have the money. But conversions continued until the mid-90s. But the aura, the mystique, the bloody madness of the 1987 CTR has never faded. Today, every internet car enthusiast think they've found the ultimate sleeper or the latest supercar killer, but 99% of them are just tuned hatchbacks with too much boost to handle. The CTR wasn't like that. It wasn't an exaggeration. It was a supercar killer. It didn't just rival the best of its day. It beat them. Even Porsche fans had to accept it. Their own creation, reimagined by a madman from Pfaffenhausen, had become the top dog. Porsche's engineers, once suspects, were both horrified and oddly impressed. And in 2017, Ruff did it again. The new CTR, also called the Yellowbird, has a full carbon fiber monocoque, a bespoke design, and 700 horsepower. But in a world of hybridized hypercars and digital traction control, it's just not the same. The original Yellowbird was built in an era before electronic nannies, before you could rely on clever differentials and torque vectoring. If you got it wrong, it killed you. If you got it right, it made you feel like the Stig from Top Gear. The 1987 Ruff CTR Yellowbird isn't just one of the greatest Porsches of all time. It's one of the greatest cars of all time. Period. It represents the moment when one small outfit took everything that made the 911 great, its shape, its simplicity, its engine, and dialed it up to 11 while still keeping it perfectly drivable on a public road. Not because it was easy, not because it made sense, but because a Louis Ruff Jr. believed he could make something better than what Stuttgart had to offer, and then he did it. No traction control, no automatic gearbox, no carbon ceramic brakes, no excuses. Just raw, brutal, unfiltered speed. The Yellowbird was lightning in a bottle, and it still crackles to this day. But at the end of this video, please let me know what you guys think of the Yellowbird and what do you guys think of its story. I have fond memories of this car back in Gran Turismo 4, if I'm not mistaken, where I raced this thing around some tracks. I will say on the game at least, this thing was tail happy, like insanely tail happy. And I do think the real thing would have been like that as well. But if you are a good driver, this thing really rewarded you in the best way possible. But yeah, at the end of the video, please let me know what you guys thought. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you guys did like this video, you'll most probably enjoy most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's something else I like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?